Hi, welcome. If you're new to my channel, hi, welcome to the Laney Gammy's Gone Gray. This vlog is going to be solely about some personal business. So if you haven't been following me and really don't know anything about me, don't bother watching this. This is just really journaling for myself and letting anyone who has followed me and knows me to know what's going on in my life. Otherwise, if you haven't, none of this is really going to matter to you and you're not going to really care and it's not going to make sense. But I did want to come on and give an update of some new things that have come to fruition. So, if you have watched me and know me at all, you know that my father was found by a private detective, I want to say about 5 years ago, after abandoning my family 50 some years ago. I'm 61. I want to say really I had no contact with him or knew anything where he was from the time I was like 8. I did bump into him in a bar when I was 18 at one point, and he flew out the door, didn't want anything to do with me. So I think in past vlogs, I've told a little bit more history about this man. He's a narcissist, checks all the boxes for narcissism, and has led a secret life his whole life, and has had several marriages, 3 to be precise, and the third being the woman who now is my stepmother and is one of my best friends and a sister in the Lord. She and I are very close, and that all came about from finding him. So I felt from the time that she found out about us, because she did not know he had ever been married before. She did not know he had ever had any children. She literally had been left in the dark about his true identity and his true life. And so let's fast forward 5 years. She has now accepted the Lord several years ago, actually got baptized in my in-ground pool, goes to church with me, has employed me in her company, and we are best friends. So I have always felt that she should have left him from the day one, and I won't go into all the reasons why and why not, but she did not leave him. And she has put up with a lot of stuff with this man. And well over a year ago, maybe going on 2 years ago, I separated myself completely from him. I did try to establish a relationship with him. I tried to forgive him. I tried everything that I could do as a Christian, and it was all for naught. And I finally had to make the decision that even seeing him, even laying eyes on him, was toxic to me. So I no longer would go to her home. She's welcome in my home. She's involved in all of our family functions. She's part of our family, but none of us go there. So I want to say today is Wednesday, so it was a week ago tomorrow that I get a message from her that in the evening, and the message just reads, "I'm sorry." And come to find out, she had to call the police. And then the police got there, listening to my father, who's had a stroke and has dysphagia and apraxia. They thought that he was having another stroke or something. They called the ambulance, and it's just the way he is. What had happened is that he is controlling and manipulating. That's what narcissists are. And she had come home from a very long day from work, and then following work she had to go to a wake, and so she was pretty spent by the time she got home. And he started in on something completely ridiculous, and she warned him, "I'm not up to this, stop. I'm not going to deal with this right now. Stop. I'm not going to. And he just, because that's what narcissists do, apparently. I have never lived with a narcissist. I would never, ever even spend a minute with one because that's the person I am. But narcissists prey on people who are usually very trusting, naive, weak in some way, physical, mental, whatever, needy. And so, but she's been building a backbone because I'm like, don't put up with this crap. He doesn't deserve anything. This man was not the person you even thought he was when you married him. So anyway, forgive me, this is going to be a long vlog. She put some belongings into a bag. Her mother lives right down the road from her, and she goes, I'm just going to my mother and spend the night. I can't listen to you. This man, he's going to be 89 in November, and please do not feel sorry for him. Oh, well, he's an old man. Yeah. He's going to be sleeping in the bed he made. He's never wanted to repent. He's never tried to apologize. He's never tried to make things right with any of us. When my brothers both died, he had no emotion, didn't even ask any questions. Could have cared less. Could have cared less. So she throws some things in a bag, tries to leave, and he goes behind her car in the garage, pulls a chair, and sits down and starts banging on her. He won't let her leave. And she's not going to get physical with him. And she says, you better move. If I have to call the police, I will never return here. I will never come back to this house to live. He didn't care. Narcissists don't care. They don't believe you. They believe they have control. So she had to call the police. And she did go to her mother's, and she took they have 2 small dogs. They don't have a fenced-in yard. He can't walk the dogs. He can't care for the dogs. She takes the dogs. Who do you think he cares about? Yes, that's right. He cares about the dogs. Forgive me for a minute. I'm going to leave the screen to wipe my nose. Didn't want to do that on screen. Okay. So, when the police were there, he kept telling them to call Lainey. That's why she texted me and said, I'm sorry. She thought the police had called me. First of all, call Lainey? Honestly, do you think I'm going to do anything for you? No. But I am the only blood relative, nearest of kin, that he knows of, because my sister Sharon is in Massachusetts, and she certainly isn't going to do anything for him, and both my brothers are passed away now. Anyway, let's fast forward a little bit. So I talked to her and say, well, you're not going back. You're going to move in with your mother and eventually sell the house, and your mother's going to sell her home because her father passed away just several months ago, and they'll get a place together. Her mother's in her late 86. I think her mother's 86. And the 2 of them will get a place together and be merrily on their way. But here comes the but. Who's going to check in on John? And by the way, his name is Richard John, and my mother referred to him, she always knew him as RJ or Dick. The second wife always called him Richard, and Yuda has always known him as John. See, he kept that's about the only thing that was truth. And I mean, when I say he lied about everything, he lied right down to the death of his own mother. When his mother passed away, Yuda saw this obituary and the name Fowler and his name listed as a son, and she confronted him, and he told her it was a cover-up. And it wasn't true. She was still alive, living and doing well in Kentucky. His mother lived in a suburb here where I live her whole life. He lied about everything. Lied. So, I tell her, you're not going back. Ever. But who's going to go in and check on him? Well, I'm going to have to hire a home health aide, to do some light housekeeping, home health aide stuff. And she calls a couple businesses. And when I was there on Friday to clean her office, she's sharing with me, I've caught a couple businesses and I've reached out and got some numbers, and I said, you know what? No, no better person to do it but me. Okay, this is not really focused very good, is it? Is that better? It's gonna tip over on me. Watch it tip over on me. Anyway, I have the experience. I was a home health aide before I was a nurse. I've done the job. I can be trusted. And it's somebody he knows. But I will be paid. And it will come out of his checking account. I won't do it for free. He owes me. He owes me so much. He didn't give it. Myself and my siblings anything our whole life. So I have already gone over there twice. Now that's on top of I am homeschooling. Count. 5 days a week I'm homeschooling my granddaughter. I'm running over there every morning and doing most of it there at her house, then bring her back here and do the other half here. So I'm doing that. I'm doing collections. I'm making calls. I'm averaging between 5 and 8 hours a week. Lately, because I'm doing so good, I'm averaging 5 hours a week in my collection calls. I am cleaning her office once a week. And now I will be going to his home 2 to 3 days. We said 3 days a week. We'll see, because I've already been there how many hours? I was there for 2.5 hours yesterday. I was there for 2 hours on Monday because so much has to be done, because I'm a clean freak and I'm an organizational freak. Actually, people have said you should start your own business because you really know how to organize things and get things squared away. So 2.5 hours yesterday, and I'm going to go back tomorrow. So laundry, light housekeep, laundry, vacuuming, mopping, dishes, prepare him a simple something to eat if he hasn't eaten, which is just microwavable stuff. So sorry. I did make him a cheese omelet yesterday. Ask me why. Because I really shouldn't. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. Well, this isn't going to work. Is that going to work? Okay. Change the sheets. So, because I'm an organizational freak, this week and next week even, and who knows after that, I'll be there several hours each visit because I'm cleaning out, I'm pulling out. We went over there on Saturday, my husband and I, and we were there 4 hours just to move her personal items. No furniture, just clothes, shoes, coats, and personal things. But because she's not like me and there was so much hauling out, she's a little bit of a hoarder herself. But we were there for 4 hours helping her get things out of that house. And want to know what he cared about? The dogs. He literally, in front of me, and he doesn't cry tears. Apparently narcissists don't really know how to even cry. He fake cried. Oh, 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 my dogs, my babies. I need my babies. I need my kids. And whoa. Yeah. Yuta snapped and literally was like, how dare you? You've never cared about your real kids. Because we had sat down and said, this is what's going to happen. I'm leaving. I'm not coming back. I mean, to live. Lainey's going to come in several days a week to do some things around the house and keep an eye on you. We have Blink cameras around the whole house. So at any point we can pull him up and see he's still alive. But he didn't care. He cared about the dogs. He didn't care about Yuta leaving. He didn't care about anything else. He cared about the dogs. Yeah. That's him. That's a narcissist. That was on the day we were moving. He had this, after we had moved everything out and got everything packed and ready to go. Like I said, she and I sat down with him, and that's when he broke down crying about the dogs, my babies, my kids. And then we got him a cat. Cat's going back tomorrow. And I won't even get into it. It's not really about him why the cat's going back. But anyways, the cat's going back tomorrow. We did find a cat. Somebody who wanted to, foster out a cat who has plenty of cats of their own. And we brought the cat over and spent all of Sunday getting everything you need for a cat. And I hate cats. I'm sorry if you're a cat lover. I'm a dog lover. I don't like cats, but I did feel sorry for this cat. Anyway, we brought the cat over on Monday, spent 2 hours. I was there 2 hours on Monday. And again, he starts crying about the dogs. My babies. And I snapped. And I said, really? How'd you feel when Gary and Ernie died? Nothing. No response from him. Any normal human being with an ounce of humanity would have said, oh, no. Didn't respond at all that my brothers had passed away. Could care less. Because he's never been around. He hasn't been their father. But I am going to do this. I feel like I'm, first of all, making good money. Making good money doing it. Because like I said, I wouldn't do it for free. So I'm making more money. It's a help to Yuta. She doesn't have to worry about somebody being in her home and what's going on. Having me there, she can trust and I'm a nurse. Something happens to him, I'm a nurse. I know what to do with that too. So it's really more for her and me and not about him. It really has nothing to do about him because he deserves nothing. And if he continues to stay on and doesn't kick the bucket anytime soon, and forgive me, that's how I talk because of what he's done to me and my family and my mother, she would eventually sell this house. Her mother would sell her home because they both have very large homes. They don't need these large homes. And then her and her mother would purchase a very nice place for themselves, a ranch. No upstairs and downstairs business. And if he's still around, they'll put him in an apartment. They'll put him in some small apartment. But until then, that's what we're doing. So I need prayer. So all of you who've been praying for me and other things, please continue to lift me up in prayer because no one would have ever imagined me being his caregiver. Ever in a million years, out of the 4 siblings. And there's a long story behind this. And again, I've been told that I need to write a book because nobody would believe. You wouldn't believe my life story. You would just think it's made up. It's something made up for TV, but it's true. But out of the 4 siblings, I carried the most bitterness and anger, and I can't tell you why. I just did. And everybody knew it, that I literally walked around with hatred for this person. I mean, pure, just the purest form of hatred for him. And I had gotten saved, and the Lord started working on me. For years, the Lord had worked on me, but I didn't know where the man was. And when we did find out where the man was, then the Lord really started instilling on me, like, I have forgiven you, you must forgive him. And I won't go into how that all came about and how I did end up meeting him and finding out he lives walking distance around the corner from my oldest daughter. And he had lived there for 30 years. Small world, right? But when I did find him and meet him, and let him know that I was doing this because of, the Lord was actually commanding me. He still refused to tell me anything about his past, refused to tell me why he left. He wouldn't tell me. He just kept repeating that it was all in the past and he wasn't not going to discuss it with me. And then he had a stroke, and we had to deal with him having a stroke and all this other crap, and it was crap. Truly was crap. But here I am going to be my father's caregiver. Strange. It's strange. But I did realize, because I didn't grow up with him and I didn't have him in my life, he is just literally a stranger to me. And I have no feelings for him whatsoever. No compassion. It's hard for me to even get some compassion. Like, this poor old man's going to be left alone. He doesn't even have a dog anymore. He has no family. He has no friends. Narcissists don't have friends. They can't keep friends because, especially when you're a lying narcissist and tell stories, you can't keep a friend because somebody's going to find out your truth. And his truth was that he was in the naval intelligence. He was never in anything, but he started out as a milk truck delivery man and worked his way up into Burn Dairy Milk Department. But he had all the women in his life believing he was undercover, and that's why he would disappear for weeks and months on end. And back then there was no Google and there was no cell phones and there was no way. And these women that he preyed on, again, were believing, trusting, naive, young. I mean, again, he lied about everything. Yuta, when I came into the picture, and I knew his age, I knew when he was born, and when I told her something about how old he was, and she was like, wait a minute, he's how old? She had always thought he was, I think it was, we came up, it was 13 years younger than what he truly was. He lied about his age, he lied about everything. No friends. So, compassionate persons like this poor man, he has nothing. And that's what he deserves. But, again, Yuta is financially responsible for this man. He is her dependent. So, but she did say, yep, he'll be paying you. I took his credit card. Because she takes care of all the finances. I took his credit card. I took his checkbook, and I'll be writing your paycheck out every week for how many hours you work. So, thanks for watching. This is 22 minutes long. This is so long. I'm so sorry. And I hope you just fast forwarded because I really just babbled on. But I did want to document this. I do it as a personal journal, and I wanted to share what's happening in my life. That, boy, things have changed. That I'm able to do this is a miracle from God. And so pray for me. Thank you for joining me. If you've watched any of my vlogs, hit subscribe if you're interested in hitting subscribe, thumbs up, whatever. Any little messages. I love to hear from anyone who watches. Please send me a little message. I appreciate that thoroughly. And I'll be back on for more goodies. I got some new little dupes to share with you all, and I'll be back with some more stuff. God bless. Take care.